One teammate suggests Te'o perpetrated the myth of the girlfriend, even when he knew she didn't actually exist. That teammate spoke to our next guest, sports journalist Jackie Pepper from pepperonsports.com. Good morning.
Hey, Carol, how are you?
I'm good. So, Jackie, who was that teammate and what did he say?
Good luck getting me to name the source there. Not going to happen. This is a teammate who was skeptical and said many people in that locker room were. He said that after the Michigan State game, which coincided with the death of both Manti's grandmother and the alleged girlfriend, that something seemed fishy. He said once it came out in the media that both had died around the same time, he started to wonder. And I asked him, did you not know the girlfriend had died until you saw him discuss it in the press? And he said that was correct, that his own teammates did not know that the star of their team had a dead girlfriend until they saw it on the news themselves. And that was a turning point for them.
Well, didn't they find it strange all along that they never saw this woman?
They said that they knew that he had met her one time, which alludes to the time Manti says he did, in fact, meet her after a Stanford game in Palo Alto. So they just took his word for it. I mean, this is the star of your team. He's your leader. He's a senior. Why wouldn't you believe someone who you spend all that time with and are so close to? But eventually their ears perked up as it was just one coincidence after another, and it did seem suspicious to them.
Okay, so the university conducts this big investigation. It claims that it knew about all of this on what, December 26th? The Heisman Trophy was awarded on December 7th. And you know what people are saying. You know, this guy came in second in the Heisman voting, and that he supposedly let this story go on, even when he knew that this woman didn't exist, to create sympathy for the Heisman voters. Do you think that's possible?
I mean, I think to most rational people, no, that's not possible and it's not logical. But there are all types of weird motivations for people out there. And this player I spoke with did give Manti the benefit of the doubt in saying that he thinks originally his teammate was scammed by somebody pretending to be this woman online, pretending to die, et cetera, but that he doesn't know when Manti knew, but he knows that he perpetuated the lie at some point during this whole ordeal. And it's sad to think that someone would do that for sympathy for a Heisman Trophy. But as bad as this is, the only person I think Manti hurt was himself and his teammates. And it could have been a lot worse. And good thing he didn't win the Heisman. Could you imagine?
Oh, I know, I know. And just in fairness to him, I might not come out publicly and say, oh, I was in love with a woman who never existed. And I mean, that would be embarrassing to me. So maybe it's as simple as that. Supposedly we're going to hear from him at some point.
A lot of people are embarrassed to say they met someone online, and especially if you are living this lie and you feel deceived. Somebody asked me, how could he have faked those emotions if this was a lie? And the only plausible explanation I could think of was that if he did feel like he had been duped, then maybe he really did suffer a loss, not the kind of loss he was leading the public to believe. But emotionally, if you lose someone who you thought you were in love with, you lose them, whether they're dead, whether they were a man, whether they never existed in the first place. So I think that is a possibility.
That is something to wrap your head around. Jackie Pepper from pepperonsports.com. Thank you so much. We're back after a break.
Thanks. Have a great one.
You too.